My parents missed my graduation party to take my sister to a theme park, so I cut ties with them, and now my mom wants to reconnect. For context, I, 29F, have a younger sister, Jessica, 22F. She is the epitome of an entitled brat and a daddy's girl, always whining, always expecting people to cater to her every whim. Just overall insufferable. Ever since she was born, my parents doted on her for everything. She didn't have any special needs or a complicated birth. She was just born, and my parents completely pushed me aside, especially my dad, 52 million. He went from being supportive to becoming one of those girl dads you see being criticized online. My mom, 51F, still showed some care for me, but she never stood up to my dad or let me have any attention, not even once. The only person who truly had my back was my aunt, 73F, who always called out my parents for their favoritism and never liked my sister. I remind her of my late uncle, and we share a special bond because of that. Unfortunately, she lives halfway across the country, so I didn't get to see her often. Jessica knows that dad always favors her, and she loves to throw it in my face. Because of this and her self-centered attitude, we've always had a strained relationship. She's spoiled, demanding, and just a terrible person to be around. But things took a turn for the worse at my graduation party. It was a huge milestone for me. Years of hard work, sleepless nights, and personal sacrifices. I had hoped my parents would at least show up, maybe even act like they cared. Instead, they told me last minute that they wouldn't be attending because they had promised Jessica a trip to Dreamworld, a theme park she had been pestering them about for weeks. I was devastated, but the worst part came later. As if skipping my party wasn't bad enough, they had the nerve to post pictures all over social media of their amazing day at Dreamworld with Jessica. There they were, smiling in front of roller coasters, while I was left alone at my own celebration. My aunt called me that night, furious after seeing the photos. She couldn't believe they'd missed such an important day just to indulge my sister's whims. But when I confronted them, my mom just shrugged and said, "We can celebrate your graduation anytime. This was more important to Jessica." I snapped. I told them that I was done. I couldn't keep pretending that I was okay with being ignored, discarded like I didn't matter. I told them that Jessica could have all their attention from now on because I wanted nothing to do with them. My dad tried to justify it, claiming I was overreacting and that it was just one day. But it wasn't about just one day. It was years of them choosing her over me, every single time. I haven't spoken to them in 2 years. Last week, I got a call from my mom out of the blue. She said they missed me and that I should put the past behind me. Then she dropped a bombshell. They're having financial issues. Apparently, all the spoiling of Jessica, the lavish vacations, and her out-of-state tuition were draining their savings. Now they want to reconcile, but all I can see is their desperation. I told her that, as far as I'm concerned, they're not my family anymore. They made their choice, and now they can live with the consequences. Anyways, do you think my parents were justified in choosing my sister's trip over my wedding? Or was I right to feel abandoned and disown them? Comment down below what you think, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.